Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to A Better World with Adrienne. I'm Adrienne. I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you for pressing play. Thank you for giving your time, your energy, your attention to this podcast. And thank you for being part of the web of souls that is really sharing and leading and pioneering around the globe. It is immensely, immensely powerful. Today's episode, I am going to be starting the first in a four-part series about the quadrants we work with inside New Earth Elite. So, New Earth Elite is the movement, the fleet of souls that I'm leading in really this fusion of high performance and spiritual mastery to 100x our missions, our visions, our inventions, and anchor the light with 100x results. Because remember, linear time, linear creation model is not only dead, it is not aligned with a light. So, this is what we do here in my world, in my client work. A Better World with Adrienne, this podcast. This is where I share transmissions, teachings. This is my offering to the collective. New Earth Elite is what you join when you become my client. And that's when we really get in the training room and we get dialed on these four quadrants. And so I felt inspired to go deep into what do the quadrants mean? Why do they matter? What are some of the expressions of them, both from a high performance lens and a spiritual mastery lens? So you can really understand like the mechanics of why it works, how it works, and to inform your decisions and how you move forward in your spiritual path. So, like I always say, the podcast is powerful. The podcast can open your brain and your mind and your heart and your soul. It's not going to create the depth of lasting blessings and trajectory shift that happens in my client spaces inside New Earth Elite. It just does not. So, that's today's episode. One announcement, if you are interested in going deeper into this work with me, if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, I have one space open inside one-on-one Lux mentorship with me inside New Earth Elite. There are also a couple spots I literally just opened for you to come and meet me in France in July and do a VIP dream day with me. So I'm really getting even more dialed. You may have noticed, even in the past 6 months, I keep getting more dialed and more dialed and more dialed in my unique mission and making New Earth Elite the best it can be and really pouring. I'm really only doing the podcast in my high proximity clients inside New Earth Elite. And this is the first lesson in all of this that you're receiving just by witnessing me refine over and over and over and over again is that abundance is not about amount. Abundance is about potency. You've got to have potency. You've got to go niche. You've got to go deep, first of all, to be epic and elite at anything. And second, to pierce through the veil of bullshit in this realm and get to the truth of love, abundance, joy, bliss, harmony, unconditional power, freedom for you and every life you touch. It's not about spraying and diluting your energy every which way. And as you may have noticed in the title of this episode, I'm still getting really clear on exactly how I want what I want this series to be called. Quadrant Quotient is a really strong contender, but this is all about health. This is all about physical health, vitality, and it's connected. Each of the quadrants are connected to an element. We have earth, water, wind, and fire, which is obviously connected to the zodiac and astrology and that ancient code and sacred science. If you are interested in going deep into this work with me one-on-one, Go to the application in the show notes, fill it out, whether you want to work with me one-on-one right now. By the way, all of my one-on-one Lux clients, we do at least one thing in person because in person, again, moves the needle 100x. One-on-one Lux long-term mentorship and spaces to meet me in France in July. If you are interested in either of these, going deep with me in all of these teachings I share on the podcast to make them from a lesson to a true embodiment, a life trajectory shift, doing more in literally one session in our work together than most people ever even touch 1 ounce of in 30 years of therapy, go to the link in the show notes right now, apply, and I will be in touch. If we are a fit, we will get you booked. We will rock and roll and make magic together, literally starting right now. Okay, let's transition into this first in the series, this first installment of the Quadrant Quotient series. There are 4 quadrants, and I want to be really clear. New Earth Elite is a fleet of souls that I am pioneering. It is a movement, it is a fleet, it is a living, breathing way of moving through the world where you become not the 1%, but the 1% of the 1%. So when you come to New Earth Elite, you're already a winner. You're already successful. You've already done what most people will never do. You're already incredibly mystical. You're already incredibly practical and strategic. You probably lean one way or the other, more extreme. However, you've already done a lot in terms of I'm committed to my contribution to a better world. I'm committed to a life of mastery and personal growth, and you're just ready to crank it up to 11, right? New Earth Elite is an extreme embodiment. It really is not for everyone. Most people cannot will not activate or embody the consciousness required to even access this realm of high performance. What does high performance mean? It means elite success and excellence at 1% of the 1% level unconditionally in any circumstance. Which means, in case you haven't noticed, there's a lot of chaos in the world right now, and it doesn't matter. Like it does, and you are the person, if you choose to walk forward in this past path fully and completely, you are the person that decides and commands and maintains and sustains that literally no matter what's happening on the globe, you achieve excellence. Unconditional success, unconditional mastery, unconditional high performance, excellence, quality, ambition, love. It's way, way easier to be jaded and dehumanize other people in times like this than it is to rise above, lean into the ancient codes of unity consciousness combined with high performance, and keep birthing new paradigms with precision. So, this is New Earth Elite. It is where you go from being someone who's just successful living their purpose to an Olympic level dialed athlete living their divine assignment for creator. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. Okay, so that's New Earth Elite. It's this fleet of souls. And I was given, this is my divine assignment, is New Earth Elite. And when I was given this name, it was like a few days later when I was writing about it that, and I write just this morning on the day that I'm recording this podcast, there's actually a really incredibly abundant alignment in the astrology on the day I'm recording this. There's a Jupiter Venus Cazimi, and it's happening in my third house. Third house rules communication. And I was like, oh, this is like a perfect day to start this series. And Cancer rules. I mean, I could go all into that. That's a whole different podcast. Cancer is all about safety. It's about the divine feminine. It's about receiving. It is about truly unconditional love, like mother's milk nectar love, that has boundaries to maintain its potency. And I was up at 3 a.m. because my body just always responds to when there's like very specific extreme astrology. That's just part of I am so tapped into that realm. My body's always up when things are happening. So I was up at 3 a.m. and when I was first got the assignment New Earth Elite, I didn't know there was going to be quadrants until I was writing at 3 a.m. one day, so, like right after I saw this vision and got this download, and I just wrote it in one sentence. Healthy, wealthy, happy, and free, stewarding missions of divinity. And that's it. That's what we do. And so those are the four quadrants: healthy, wealthy, happy, and free. And really, everything we do in this movement is unlocked through those four quadrants. And that's how you steward your mission, your divine assignment at a high level and activate your highest potential again and again and again on repeat. Because the amazing thing is, my friend, is that this is never over. There's always more to learn, there's always more to create. And it's so exciting. It's so exciting. I can tell you, I will never ever retire because I'm living my art. And that's what you've got to find and locate for yourself is like, even this idea of retirement is, it's very connected to the matrix where you sell your soul to, do things that you don't love, which is literally evil. Um, for quote unquote security. And then one day you get to like retire. And it's like, there's no need for the idea of retirement if you are just making your art and you're no lo and you don't and you're not trading time for money and like all of these things. Like it's all bullshit matrix stuff connected to dark forces. This is New Earth Elite. These are the four quadrants and they came through really strong. And the first thing I want to share at the beginning of the series is like quadrant, there's four. And the number four, from a spiritual lens, it is the number of stability. Think about a chair, it has four legs. If you had three legs on a chair, it would topple over. Four represents stability and foundations that last. It is very connected to the earth elemental, which we are going to get into because every single one of these quadrants is connected to one of the elementals in earth. And really, this is the marriage, this is the union of high performance and the ancient codes of spiritual mastery. When I think about New Earth Elite and what we're doing here, it is really the sacred geometry expressed in this ecosystem, high performance being the masculine, the precision, the clarity, the action, the mastery, the just like the integrity. And then the spiritual mastery is the energetics. It's the feminine. It's the muse. It's the artist, right? You can't have one without the other. They got to go together. And so the elemental is the part of each quadrant that is more of this mystical, energetic, something I was contemplating this morning is this idea of what you're loyal to. And it's like, what are you loyal to? Are you loyal to fear? Are you loyal to the past? Are you loyal to the matrix? Or are you loyal to the unseen? Are you loyal to a feeling that has no evidence? Like it's such a powerful journaling exercise. Um, The four quadrants could also be expressed in a pyramid. And so we're going to start at the bottom of the pyramid, quadrant one, and they came in a specific order because that's the order of importance. I've seen billionaires die early because they never mastered their physical health. They chose instant gratification. They had self-created dis-ease. Most sickness on our planet is self-created. People don't realize it because they're so entrenched in conditioning of self-harm and poisoning ourselves as the normal. Um, However, like wealth doesn't matter if you're sick. You're never going to be happy if you're sick. You're never going to feel free if you're sick, right? So it's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. However, this is the new earth elite quadrant, quadrants, and the first one, the foundational layer is health. So let's get into it. First, I feel the reason that the word quotient came through so strong is I'm if you are new to my world, you might not know this about me. If you've been here forever, you know I love alliteration. I love rhymes. My natal Mercury and Venus are conjunct in Virgo. That is literally the embodiment of beautiful words. Like Mercury is words, Venus is beauty. And in Virgo's ruled by Mercury, which is words. That's why I have a podcast. It's why I love writing. It just is like, and the thing is, I never went to my chart and said, hey, like this is, it wasn't like a strategic thing that, oh, I'm going to do this because of this placement. It was just my soul was drawn to this because this is how I express. And my sixth house, moon, is also connected to Virgo. I have a lot of Virgo. I have a lot of Taurus. I have a lot of Capricorn, which is a lot of Earth, which is what we're going to get into today. Quotient is a measurement of a specific quality, and it's also a it's an answer to a math problem. And I was just fascinated by this because when we talk about quadrant quotient, I'm really describing the answer that it's like a mathematical, mechanical answer to a question. We see it time and time again. Science gradually catches up to what mystics have known for years, right? All the work that Dr. Joe Dispenza is doing right now in his research is just proving what we've known forever. That literally what we see with our eyes then is less than 1% of reality. Why would we base our lives and our decisions on what we see instead of mastering, oh, the unseen realm, and then I just pull things out of the unseen realm, right? With precision. It's a skill set. It is a skill set, and that's why New Earth Elite is different than any other space I've seen. Is you've got to master the skill set. You got to be in the training room. Just like going to the gym once isn't going to make you healthy for your whole life. You've got to be in the training room for all these different quadrants, for all these different, we have the trifecta of transformation, which we bring into each quadrant, which is healing, knowledge, and skill. There's healing, knowledge, and skill that happen in the health quadrant. There's healing, knowledge, and skill that happen in the wealth quadrant. There's healing, knowledge, and skill that happen in the happiness quadrant. Healing, knowledge, and skill that happen in the freedom, right? I don't know why this is coming through, but I feel inspired to speak on it. Does money buy happiness? Yes. At a certain point, it does. If you don't have a resource to just live your life and be fully expressed and do what you want to do, when you want to do it, with who you want to do it, however many times you want to do it, you are not going to be happy. You are going to feel caged. Now, after a certain point, I mean, that's when you pass that level and you're like, okay, what about like happy? Like what's going to make me truly, truly happy, right? And can you create immense wealth doing what makes you happy? Yes, that's actually the only way. However, if you are, just speaking from my own story, I was a broke artist for most of my life. And I wore it as a badge of honor. Like, hey, I'm a good person, right? Same, a lot of people do this in the spiritual space. It's not a flex to be under-resourced. It is disrespectful to God and every single life you touch. you've got to get that piece covered to access your full voltage of happiness. We're going to get to that in the later episodes. So we have this trifecta that we use in each quadrant. Number one quadrant is health. Now, I've done so many. This is, again, what I created in New Earth Elite. It's an ecosystem to get you firing on all cylinders as the spiritual endurance athlete that you are, who's birthing new paradigms with precision. Your physical health is the most important thing. You are the asset. And I've done so many episodes. I've done episodes on holy habits. I've done episodes on food and how it impacts your intuition and your aura. I've done episodes on ancient fertility and all of that and how I've helped so many clients get pregnant after IVF. I've done so many podcasts on like specific questions, or like I've done a lot on digital detox, which is part of your health. Health is what most people cut corners on. And the first thing I want to share is that you've got to just toss out everything you've ever been taught about health. Because literally, especially if you were born in the United States, every single one of us was conditioned by a system that profits off of us being sick. It's a sick care system. So delete all of that. And this is where we bypass and we go to the ancient codes. Literally, this is what I want you to understand. Your body is the house for your soul, and you only get one. If you care about your soul, and your soul is a piece of the creator, if you care about the creator, then you've got to care about your health. Health is wealth. Your body is a temple. Your body is the house for your soul. Your body literally determines your energetic hygiene, the ideas you get. It determines what you manifest because your body is a magnetic field. So, the high performance aspect of this quadrant really comes through in holy habits. And I teach holy habits because holy habits was a term I coined, and I've done several masterminds of this. Every single one-on-one client I've ever worked with, the first thing we're going to do is get your health dialed. I don't care if you think you're the best biohacker in the world, there are refinements to be made. I am making really deep refinements in my own health right now as I record this podcast. And most people that see me, like, I'm in amazing shape. I look amazing. I have great energy. I'm proud of my body. I love my body. Just because it's better than most people doesn't mean it's my best, right? And this is what I mean about elite. This is like your version of half-assing it is better than even most of the best people. That does not mean it's your best, and I'm the person that will tell you that. I'm the person that will call you to that. Because yeah, you're not someone where I've got to be like you should exercise, or like, I mean, maybe you are. People have specific things that they really are avoidant on, and it depends on a lot in your personal path. However, like, the high performance aspect of this is holy habits, where your daily embodiment, every single day, all day, is a thank you to the creator through worshiping your temple. Not through the words you say, but how you live. That moment no one sees, what do you do? Do you choose instant gratification or the long-term blessing? I'm talking getting your nutrition dialed based on science and like shamanically, what's correct for your body, what's correct for your soul, what do you need right now, what do you need based on the land you're living on. Okay, exercise, workouts. I've written so many workouts for my clients. Spoiler alert, I used to be a personal trainer and a beach body coach when I was doing my master's. I've lived many different lives and iterations. There's a lot of like secret value adds within my mentorship. Like, I used to teach yoga and meditation. I do, that's something I teach help you with in one-on-one client work. Energetic hygiene. Your clothing is part of your health. Your clothing impacts your aura. Do you wear cheap clothes? That's a reflection of how do you see your body? Do you see your body as a temple and a house for your soul and a vessel for the Creator's light to move through or not? Do you adorn that temple? Do you invest in that temple? Like eating organic, yeah, it's a different investment than eating food with poison on it. However, it's worth it times a million. Your digital life is really linked to your physical health. If you're scrolling, you are choosing every single day to give your energy and your life force to be hijacked and put you into chronic fight or flight while brainwashing you to choose fear subconsciously. It's very, very advanced. So, holy habits, it's and it's ceremony through all of the I could go so deep into all these habits. However, the biggest thing with quadrant one is your physical health, your vitality. And I'm talking about vitality. I'm talking about actual health, not lack of disease. Not, oh, I have no symptoms. That's not health. Health is you have a glow. There's something in the yogic tradition, in Ayurvedic medicine, which is called ojas, OJAS, and it is the subtle glow of health. It's when you see someone's aura and their skin glowing because of all of the decisions they're making every single day to truly worship their temple through their physical health. Getting enough water, getting sleep. Oh my God, we go deep on sleep in New Earth Elite, and it's different for your sign. It's different depending on your sign. It's different depending on where you're at in your journey. Okay? It's if you're a woman, it's different when you're where you're at in your cycle. So there's this intersection point that I call, and I have an episode about this if you want to go deeper into this, but it's called How to Cherish Yourself. And it's about this intersection, this moment that I believe is the key to everything you want in your life and what will actually heal the world and create a better world is this intersection of self-respect, self-love, and self-trust. With health, health is the most normalized self-abandonment I've ever seen. And it's the most shameful, like people's relationship with their body and food and exercise. There's so much shame around it. And there's a level of intimacy with yourself and with the creator that most people never want to go to in terms of that. Like the most personal thing, one of the most personal things in life is the food you put in your body. And yet, it's one of the things that most people just ignore. And people actually, and you may relate to this. I know I've related to this at many points in my path. I don't anymore because I just don't. I've passed that level of the video game, and I'm on to more refinements. But like people pleasing other people, putting food in your body that you actually don't want to eat just to make other people comfortable, like a family recipe. Like everyone's saying, like, oh, everyone's having a cupcake, but you know that it's going to make you feel like shit. You have one anyways because you don't want to be the person sticking out, because you don't want to be the mirror that says, hey, I'm valuing my health. And then you're not saying this, but you're energetically like saying that this other decision that other people are making is not aligned with health. You don't want to mess with all that, so you just eat the cupcake and then you feel like shit later. Health is about healing that moment within yourself, that quiet moment within yourself, once and for all, through self love, self respect, and self trust. Because every single moment, you're either coming into deeper attunement and alignment and congruence with that, or you're just shattering it. And then you wonder why you're hesitating in your company, why you're hesitating in your dating life, why you don't trust yourself with, this completely quote unquote unrelated thing. It's because you ate that cupcake when you knew you didn't want to. And so literally shattered your own self-trust. It's called self-harm and it's called spiritual sadness. It's spiritual sadness when you break your own word with yourself and when you do things like that, that disrespects your soul and creator in one fell swoop. Anytime you disrespect yourself, you're disrespecting creator. Anytime you disrespect creator, you disrespect yourself because you are a piece of creator. And you're also disrespecting literally every single person on this planet, animal, mineral, vegetable, like because you're disrespecting life force. It's this there's a level of intimacy with health. I've never seen anything quite like it. And it's sneakier for you as high performers because you already don't do what the masses do. Yours is about way being way, way, way more dialed, way, way, way more refined. There's also mental and emotional health, right? But this quadrant is like you will never ever be able to birth new paradigms if you don't have amazing physical health. You will never be able to do anything in your life, relationships, business, parenting, like literally anything in your life, if you are sick, if you are not in your highest potency and physical vitality. And I will die on that hill, and I will come back next life, and I will die on that hill again. It is the most important thing. This is why I always start with this with my clients. And part of this is how you steward your time. Morning routine, evening routine, all of these things. And that's the high performance aspect of it, right? I mean, there's spirituality baked into everything, and there's high performance baked into everything. High performance is really about habits because none of us rise to the level of our hopes. We fall to the level of our training. There's something that I learned walking out on stages in front of thousands of people every night for most of my life with the expectation that I play things perfectly and make art in high pressure situations is that I had amazing habits. I had done so many reps on all of that that I went into trance mode. I went into flow, I went into the zone, and then I was able to allow my artistry to be full blown in the moment radical presence because my technique was on point. Technique determines artistry. Part of your technique in New Earth Elite, in birthing a better world as a pioneer, as an innovator, as a leader, which everybody talks about leadership. I rarely see true leadership. I see a lot of people that aren't leading talking about leadership. I rarely see actual leadership. If you know what's going to happen next, you're not leading. If everybody agrees with you, you're not leading. Most people should disagree with you if you're an inventor, a pioneer, especially the masses, especially people who operate in mediocrity. If they agree with what you're doing, something's deeply wrong. So, technique determines artistry. You can't, like, even I'm thinking about if you think about all the Olympic level athletes, they don't they don't treat their health like an average person. They're doing extreme workouts. They have extreme nutrition. They have extreme recovery. They have extreme boundaries. They're always talking about stewarding their energy and their health and their vitality because they've got to step out there and perform at a high level in high stakes. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what your soul mission is for New Earth. Guess what? Stakes are high. In case you didn't notice, guess what? We're in a major transition for humanity. You've got to be dialed in your physical health. If you already know you want to master this with me, go apply for one-on-one. Like, I am obsessed with this. I have expertise and mastery in this from multiple angles, and it's time for you to fly. It's time for you to be the healthiest you've ever been. when we go from the ancient codes perspective and we bring in what does the earth elemental have to do with this quadrant, is like the earth is our physical home. Gaia is our home. Okay. What we do in New Earth Elite is we birth new paradigms out of the unseen into the seen. What is the seen? The seen is earth element. So you've got to be there are codes from earth element that are going to activate your highest potential of health. For example, if you live in a major city, you could have a sole purpose and a very important positioning to be in that city. However, the EMF, the concrete, the onslaught of notifications and electronics and light and all of this, it's not healthy. It's not good for us from an ancient perspective. You've got to be getting out of that environment regularly, going in the ocean, getting underwater in the ocean. Like, I've been, especially this month when I'm recording this, I've gotten very specific guidance, especially for what I'm getting more dialed in my physical health right now. Um, And a big part of it is going on like a 3 mile walk barefoot in the forest every day to ground myself, to anchor myself, to get the ions from the magnetic core of Mother Earth, of our home planet. This is part of this quadrant. You've got to fully land in your human body. Any kind of disassociation that happens in life is you separating your soul and your body because the sensations in your body are too much to transmute, or at least it appears that way, that you just want to bounce, right? So it's about fully landing in your human vessel and acknowledging that your body is the house for your soul and actually moving into that permanently. And knowing that your body is an extension of Earth. There are key access points to how this can express for you. And if you work with me one on one, we will get into okay, the Taurus aspect of your chart is activating this part of health. Capricorn is doing this, Virgo's doing this. And it's going to be different for every person at every point on their path, right? There's no specific, it's a moving target because you're a moving, breathing entity, right? It's about ceremony and ritual. And your body, what I really want you to know from like the ancient codes perspective, first of all, Mother Earth, every single tribe in humanity was in right relate not every single tribe in right relationship, but people lived in right relationship with the land and received all the medicine that they could ever need. Medicine is just like healing elixir from Mother Earth. Right now, there's so much about putting chemicals in your body and blah, blah, blah. And I could say a lot about peptides. I'm not an expert on peptides, so I'm not going to speak super into that. What I will say about peptides is that it got really, really trendy, really, really fast. And anytime something is the masses is doing for instant gratification is something I say hard no to. There's also very little regulation. And so, what I feel intuitively in my body, which again is me being connected to Earth Element. What does Earth Element say about this? Well, it says, for me, it really feels like it is being marketed as a biohack when I think the implications are really harmful. And also, you really rob yourself of the spiritual earning process and the restriction of what it means to create vitality from the ancient codes. Like, I don't believe in Ozempic. I'll be clear about that. I don't believe in it because it robs people of what does it mean to create lasting blessings through your own physical health through not choosing instant gratification and choosing long-term blessings. oh, you can just like take a pill and get whatever you want. It's just like people who are like, okay, I want to make $1 million. I'm gonna go post some videos on TikTok for 2 weeks and I want $1 million. And it's like, is that possible? Yes. Also, like it's that quick hit energy, you know? That's my what my intuitive knowing is saying about it at this point. Um, Everything we need is from Mother Earth. We are Mother Earth. And so it's about not rejecting this and not it really is an alchemical return to the ancient codes of like living from the land, living with the elementals, receiving from Mother Earth in right relationship, not extracting from her, in harmony, saying thank you. Your body, when you are keyed in, is well, it's always a portal of manifestation. So just look at your life, and I want you to know that that is just a reflection of your energetic field and the state of your nervous system. Your body is designed to heal itself. That's what we do in cosmic cellular breathwork journeys inside New Earth Elite. Again, another thing that makes it category of one. I don't see any high performance space that is rooted in New Earth values that brings in the nervous system reset from the root of your DNA. Spoiler alert, it's not limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs control 5% your conscious mind. Your DNA, your subconscious, your nervous system controls 95% of your decisions and your life and your reality. You have your body when it is healthy functions as the most powerful advanced machine of divine elegance and excellence to manifest, to unlock these ancient codes, to unlock like between you, me, and the cosmic campfire here, if you are disconnected from Earth Elemental, you will never make it for what's going with AI. The people that are going to use AI, and you'll hear me say this again and again, AI will bow down and serve those who wield the ancient codes with precision and reverence and honor. Everyone else is going to get swept into chaos. Their nervous systems are going to be shot. You've got to rise above. And so this is one way that you will do that is getting in the training room and getting dialed in your physical health. So, and it's extremely connected to Earth Elemental. And it doesn't matter what your astrology is, it doesn't matter what your soul mission is. This applies to you. So, the beautiful thing about this work is that, like, we have all of these differentiating portals where you can really leverage and learn about yourself. And yes, you are unique. And yes, you're category of one. And being a New Earth Elite is like insanely rare in itself. And on top of that, you have your one of a kind, unique soul mission that only you can do. It's unique to you. However, literally, I don't care. Like anybody on this planet, number one, physical health. If you want to change anything in your life, quadrant one, physical health. Quadrant one inside New Earth Elite, health. Earth Elemental. So yeah, that feels complete for this episode. I would love to hear how it landed for you. No pun intended when I say land, but it's very connected to the land. You are Earth, Earth is you, you are the asset. And whether you're winning and you just want to win more, or you're going through a season of confusion, or you're going through an immense challenge. By the way, this is a spoiler alert for the happiness episode, but the key to happiness is challenge. If you're not being challenged, I can tell you exactly why you're not happy. If you want to take this from information on a podcast to the up level of your lifetime for the full trajectory shift, 100x results in this frequency. One-on-one Lux, meet me in France. Do a one-on-one VIP day. We'll go deep into your physical health, of course. Um, this is so important. And this is the foundational quadrant, pillar, bottom of the forest floor for all of the abundance and fertility of paradigms being birthed, dreams being created inside New Earth Elite, which is your contribution to a better world. If you feel the call to one-on-one, go to the link in the show notes and apply literally right now. And yeah, this episode. Share this episode with someone you love who is on this frequency. You know they are here to be 1% of the 1%, birthing the new paradigm. And yeah, that's this episode. I love you, love you, love you. Go out there, be the change, be the light, be the real you, make a stranger smile, worship your temple through the way you live, get your health on point, and I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrian.